a rational number. Problem 45. A rational number is a number that can be written as a ratio. Okay? So those are your fractions, your terminating, and your repeating decimals. So it's asking us to find which one is rational. So the opposite of rational are your irrational numbers. Okay? Irrational numbers can't be written as fractions, and they're those crazy decimals. The most famous irrational number is pi. And you might also remember that many of your irrational numbers are your square roots, because, like the square root of 2, because those numbers go on forever, they don't repeat. So those are your irrationals. So we are looking for the one rational. So that means one of these is rational, and the other 4 are irrational. Now we said that pi is the most famous irrational number, and I notice right here I've got the square root of pi. So if pi is irrational, the square root of pi is definitely irrational. So this is irrational. Okay? Now, how can we use our tools wisely? How can we use our calculator to help us? So, and a rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction. Okay? So if I take the square root of 2, which I'm thinking is irrational since I've written it over here, but let's prove it. If I take and I type in the square root of 2, and then remember on your calculator, if you hit math, enter, it'll convert it to a fraction if it'll go. Well, it wouldn't convert it. It gave me the same thing. So it can't be written as a fraction, so this one is irrational as well. Okay, I'm going to try the same thing with the square root of 7. Square root of 7, and then I'm going to hit math, enter, spits back the same thing. I'm pretty sure that one's irrational as well. Now we're left with these two weird square roots of fractions. So let's see. If I take the square root of 5/25, and then I hit math, enter, I still get the same thing. I feel like that's irrational. Now, I'm down to answer choice E. Pretty confident that those are all irrational. I'm pretty sure this is the answer, but let's think about reasons why. So I want to know the square root of 64 over 49. Now, 64 and 49, you might remember, are perfect squares. They are numbers that you can take the square root of. So, square root of 64 over 49 is the same thing as the square root of 64 over the square root of 49. The square root of 64 is 8. The square root of 49 is 7. And because I knew the square root of 64 and I knew the square root of 49, those are rational numbers. Plane 8 and plane 7. So this is actually 8/7, which is a ratio, so this is rational. But I want to model that same idea that I was using with the calculator. So if I take the square root of 64 49ths, and then I hit math, enter, this time, look at what happened. It actually converted the decimal to the fraction 8/7. So this one is a rational number. Your answer is E.